cross $800 billion in a year's time. And estimates by McKinsey suggests that it will cross $2 trillion by 2030. The biggest beneficiary of this cross-border e-commerce until now has been China, which has taken advantage of this to break free from the barrier of B2B commerce and directly reach to the consumers in overseas market. So it is estimated that China's cross-border e-commerce is to the tune of $300 to $350 billion. And this shows that India has a huge potential for doing it. India has a number of advantages in e-commerce export. We have a wide range of products starting from textiles, apparel, garments, home linen, to handicrafts, Ayush products, beauty and wellness products, over-the-counter pharmaceutical drugs, gems and jewelry. So these are areas in which India has an inherent advantage. Sir, as you know, India is one of the biggest user of smartphones, and our internet penetration has been very high. From that point of view, India's ability to leverage e-commerce is also extremely high. The third big advantage is the Indian diaspora abroad, which has been demanding a lot of Indian products. So a combination, if you look at combination of all this, India is well poised to take advantage of e-commerce benefit. And for this, the biggest requirement is to change our mindset from a normal B2B commerce to a B2C e-commerce. So this would require a lot of changes in the regulation, a lot of positive factors to be brought into the ecosystem, and also a change in the mindset of officials. So in this connection, we have been working with a lot of our partner departments. I must thank Department of Revenue, Department of Post, Department of MSME, and DPIIT and RBI for being part of our interministerial working group, which is working on facilitating e-commerce, and for having brought in a lot of changes in the last couple of months. Sir, as you would remember, there was a consignment-wise cap on e-commerce export, which was capped at 5 lakhs per consignment. After talking to Department of Revenue, it has been increased to 10 lakhs. And DOR is saying that depending on the outcome, we can make it unlimited. Similarly, sir, in the Department of Post, for linking the foreign post offices with the hinterland, they have taken up a project to open a large number of Dak Niryat Kendras. And I must compliment Mr. Pranay Sharma and his team from Department of Post for having opened 1,000 Dak Niryat Kendras by 1st November of 2023. So, sir, this would help people from the hinterland to come and join the e-commerce bandwagon. Sir, we are also working with all the e-commerce players, both multinationals as well as Indian e-commerce players, to do massive outreach campaign in different parts of the country. So we are signing MOUs with many of these e-commerce players to do capacity building of our artisans, our weavers, our handloom manufacturers, and other exporters who can join e-commerce platform. So in the past, we have already signed an MOU with Amazon for 20 districts. So today, we will be signing an MOU with Shiprocket for taking up this capacity building program in 16 more districts. And sir, we are also in talks with Walmart, with eBay, with ShopClues, and a host of other e-commerce players to take up similar capacity building program in different districts. In addition, we are also working with RBI for facilitating the policies relating to the realization of foreign exchange. Sir, in normal B2B, they have a policy by which realization, foreign exchange realization has to happen within 270 days. but e-commerce would require a slightly different ecosystem. So we are working with RBI to bring in flexibility in this payment realization. We are also working with Department of Revenue for developing or designating e-commerce export zones where the export clearances are facilitated and done very quickly. So there also we have got a lot of positive signals and we are working with them. Sir, you will be happy to know that Department of MSME has been very proactive in promoting e-commerce, and both me and DC MSME have signed a joint letter to all our field offices to jointly organize outreach activities for artisans and weavers. So that activity is going to be a big activity in 2024, sir. Today, sir, we are looking forward. Today, we are looking forward to the release of the booklet relating to e-commerce export guidance booklet for MSMEs. We have already translated it into 4 different languages, sir: English, Hindi, Gujarati, and Kannada. We are in the process of translating it to other regional languages, and this will be distributed to the people at the local level, so they have a ready-made guide available with them as to how to start e-commerce, how to onboard a platform, how to realize their payments. So all these guidelines have been provided in this booklet. So sir, with this, I welcome you for this event and welcome all the media friends and my colleagues for this event. So sir, with this, I would now request you to kindly release the booklet on e-commerce. There will be 4 different languages.
Good. Very good. Thank you.
With this, I will now request the team from Shiprocket to exchange the agreement in the presence of Honorable Minister. They are a good group of young entrepreneurs. They have done pretty well.
आइए किस कौन कर रहा है आप
Mr.
ऐसा
Sarati.
who's from our side
Sir, Nitish, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
all the best all the best
Thank you, sir. Now I will request Honorable Minister for his.
Dr. Rajnish introduce him.
I will now request Dr. Rajneesh. He is the Development Commissioner of MSME, and he has been in commerce earlier, so all of you are familiar with him. I will now request him to say a few words.
Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industries, Shri Santosh Sarangi, DGFT, and the senior officers of Ministry of Commerce and Industries, and friends from media. Sir, as far as Ministry of MSME is concerned,
ऑडियो और आवाज कर दीजिए थोड़ा नजदीक ले लो
Sir, as far as Ministry of MSME is concerned, we contribute about 30% to the Indian GDP, sir. Sir, our contribution to the manufacturing is is around 40%. And we feel a part of the story of the Indian growth. Sir, 2 years ago, there was this pandemic of COVID, and every economy took a hit. And the good thing about the Indian economy is that post-pandemic, sir, the rise of the Indian economy is symbolic of the resilience also of the Indian economy, sir. And we in the Ministry of MSME, we feel that we are also a part of this journey. Sir, as far as MSMEs in India are concerned, Sir, as on 1st of March this year, sir, we had about 14 million MSMEs in the country, sir, registered under Udyam portal. Sir, I am happy to share that as on date, this number has increased from 14 million to 21 million, sir, in a span of 9 months. This is a huge jump that we are seeing. And MSMEs, we believe, are a core of the, not only of the Indian economy, they also promote inclusive growth because the employment associated with MSMEs is second only to the agriculture. Sir, we are taking various initiatives in the ministry to promote MSMEs. We are concentrating on bridging the formalization gap. We are concentrating on providing more credit and more affordable credit to MSMEs. Recently, sir, we gave a capital infusion of about 9,000 crores to the CGTMSE, which is a body which provides credit guarantee coverage to the MSMEs. Sir, as far as the field formations of the ministry is concerned, we have about 62 offices which are spread across the country, sir. And through these offices, we coordinate with the MSMEs. Sir, we are now tying up with the Ministry of Commerce, especially DGFT, the regional authorities, the offices of DGFT and the offices of MSME will work closely towards promoting exports from the Indian MSMEs. Sir, we believe that the MSME products which are exported are around 40%. So this number can increase, sir, especially with the focus on e-commerce. From traditional ways of exporting, moving on to e-commerce, sir, that will unleash and actually unlock the true potential of the MSMEs and other exporting units in the country. So, sir, we assure you of our coordination with the DGFT in promoting these issues, sir. In fact, we will be organizing joint programs with DGFT to promote this. The associations of Indian MSMEs, they will be brought on a common platform so that they know about the processes and procedures of e-commerce, because e-commerce is an evolving area and the regulations in this area are also evolving. So, sir, we assure you of our fullest cooperation, and we will gain from the booklet which is being released and the support which is provided by the Ministry of Commerce. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, friends. Congratulations to DGFT, Mr. Santosh Sarangi and his entire team for having come out with this e-commerce exports handbook for MSMEs, which will be a one-stop shop giving the what, where, when, and how to promote exports through e-commerce. This was part of our foreign trade policy 2023 ambitious target to increase merchandise exports to $1 trillion by 2030. And in some sense, this is also reflective of the whole of the government approach that Prime Minister Modi has brought to India, where we have broken all departmental and ministerial silos, and we all work as a team. In fact, sitting here, we have 5 ministries who are all assembled in this room here. We also have the private sector, particularly our startups, who make us proud with their achievements. Compliments to you for taking part in this initiative. And I'm sure Shiprocket and this initiative to bring MSMEs through the e-commerce ecosystem to world markets will yield very good results. In a way, this book is encouraging MSMEs to get set and start exporting. Friends, the approach of the entire promotion of e-commerce around the world is to leverage India's traditional areas like processed foods, currently Shri Anna, coarse grains, millets, and many other Indian agricultural goods have a lot of traction, lot of demand all across the world, where more than 30 million Indian diaspora live and work. Of course, Indian food products today are very much consumed also by foreigners across the world. We also have areas like spices, handlooms, handicrafts, footwear, textiles, so many areas in which India's traditional strengths can be a part of consumer spending in other parts of the world. And e-commerce will be the natural bridge, like a setu, to connect our Indian MSMEs, our Indian craftsmen, our Indian weavers, our Vishwakarmas, our farmers, our food processing industry with the rest of the world. This also reflects the deep focus on technology that the government of Prime Minister Modi has consistently brought to government working and government processes. With the new year, we have very ambitious targets for export. We have all seen the Indian economy show tremendous resilience and outstanding results in terms of our ability to continue to be the fastest growing large economy in the world with low inflation, high rate of growth, significant stability of our Indian currency, inclusive growth with nearly 13 crore people coming out of poverty in a 5-year span as per the Niti Aayog report, a rapidly growing middle class leading to greater demand for goods and services, and our various schemes such as Vishwakarma, which MSME Ministry has come up with, which encourages more and more of our traditional craftsmen to become entrepreneurs and start looking at markets beyond their norm. The e-commerce book is being currently released in 4 languages, but we will make sure that it is available in every language in the country, which is part of our official languages, which will benefit our consumers, our entrepreneurs, the youth, the farmers, women entrepreneurs particularly, who are looking at e-commerce even in a small way and becoming pretty significant contributors to trade and commerce now, to our MSMEs. And when you club it with the effort to promote ONDC, the Open Network for Digital Commerce, I think greater engagement of MSMEs will have a significant impact on the entire export and e-commerce ecosystem. Friends, the Honorable Prime Minister has given a clarion call for WED in India. We are seeing the traction already. We are seeing prominent Indians from around the world coming and having their marriage functions in India now. We have seen large business persons also looking at, or people with connections across the world also looking at relocating their weddings to make India a prominent wedding destination in the years to come. I think an effort like promoting e-commerce in a bigger way across the world of Indian traditional goods will also support the Wed in India initiative, because for every wedding, so many different variety of products are required, starting from textiles and clothes, all the way through to gifting and many other areas, footwear, many other areas where Indian traditional goods will find huge traction. Honorable Prime Minister had said, I dream of a digital India where e-commerce drives entrepreneurship. I think this is the moment in history where we are working as a government, breaking all departmental silos, having taken Digital India to the length and breadth of the country with nearly 900 million internet users, with people across the country having smartphones, with digital penetration being such that 4G is there across the country, and now large parts of India are rapidly moving to 5G. We are also seeing transformative changes in ease of doing business, and the various initiatives that the government of India has promoted over the last 10 years are all resulting in India already becoming the 5th largest economy, and as Prime Minister Modi has rightly guaranteed to the nation, in his 3rd term, we will become the 3rd largest economy of the world, no later than 2027, I think. In fact, in the next few months, we will cross the $4 trillion GDP mark, which will itself become a landmark achievement for India. We are slated to cross the 5 trillion mark over the next 2.5 years, and also become the 3rd largest economy in the world. We will also be focusing on quality and green logistics in India in the days to come, leveraging social media to create greater awareness amongst consumers for Indian products, and are confident that with the competitive landscape that we have in Indian business, also the entrepreneurial spirit of young India, will work together to capture global markets in the Amrit Kal. Thank you very much, friends, for being with us today. I'll welcome any questions related to this. Before I conclude, I just want to share with you one other important initiative separate from this, which is also going to have a game-changing impact, because that will showcase India to the rest of the world and dovetail with this initiative. Because as people get aware about Indian strengths, more and more of them can order through e-commerce from anywhere in the world. With Bharat Mandapam and Yashobhumi, both now providing world-class facilities in New Delhi for international scale exhibitions and conferences, we have lined up a series of conferences and exhibitions in the next few months, starting from 3rd of January, when we have an Atmanirbhar Bharat Mela, where artisans, weavers, khadi, tribal products, MSME products, cottage industry, Indian artisans offerings, and other areas of India's domestic manufacturing capabilities will be showcased and will be offered to consumers. It will be a business to consumer event at the Bharat Mandapam from 3rd to 10th of January. Soon after that, at the Greater Noida India Exposition Mart, we have a large Indus Foods exhibition from 8th to 10th of January, where over 1,100 exhibitors from nearly 120 countries and buyers, or 2,500 overseas buyers, exhibitors from about 30-40 countries and buyers from about 120 countries will be visiting, and we'll be promoting our value-added agricultural products to encourage and expand the farmers' income in the days to come, and greater job creation in food processing. After that, from 1st to 3rd February, we have Bharat Mobility Global Expo at the Bharat Mandapam, covering nearly 10 lakh square feet. It's a huge mobility exposition, probably the largest we have seen in India, and where stakeholders across the value chain related to automobile sector and mobility sector will all be presenting to the world India's strengths. We have 10 focus areas: auto components, vehicles, automobiles, innovative mobility, next-gen eco-friendly products like tires and other products. All areas related to auto sector will be presented there. I think construction equipment also. Thereafter, we have Bharat Techs from 26th to 29th February at both Bharat Mandapam and Yashobhumi, covering nearly 20 lakh square feet. Again, the largest exhibition that we have seen in the textile sector, possibly amongst the largest in the world, but certainly the largest in India. End-to-end offering of the 5F, from farm to fiber to factory to fashion and foreign, both in cotton and man-made textiles. It's a massive show of India's strength, which will be carried out from 26th to 29th February. We'll have 3,500 plus exhibitors, 3,000 plus overseas buyers, and 40 plus countries participating. We also plan to invite youth from all over the country, particularly from design institutions like NIFT and NID, from all the foreign trade organizations. All the EPCs of the textile sector are all jointly converging to make this a world-scale event. In between, we have a gem and jewelry event in Mumbai. It's a large gem and jewelry event. Give me the dates.
Signature from 4th to 8th.
4th to 8th January at Mumbai, at the Goregaon complex, Navi Mumbai, and Geo. It's a large conference, probably also one of the largest gem and jewelry sector exhibition that will be held in Mumbai in the next couple of weeks. Finally, we have AHAR, an international food and hospitality fair from 12th to 16th March, being held at the Bharat Mandapam, again 10 lakh square feet with 1,500 plus exhibitors. I just wanted to share with you, the scale has changed, the size has changed, the ambition has changed, and India is going through a massive revolution in our outward engagement with the rest of the world. We will be now focusing on greater engagement with businesses and markets across the world. Finally, one last announcement, since we are this will be our last engagement with all of you in the calendar 2023, to enable the MSME sector in getting RODTEP benefits, particularly for the exports through courier route or through e-commerce. The government will be extending the RODTEP benefits for exports through courier and through e-commerce, by which we can benefit the gem and jewelry sector, handloom and handicraft sector, Ayush products, pharma products, leather, textiles, and collectively, we believe anywhere between $1 to $2 billion of annual exports from MSMEs will get the benefit of RODTEP sector through this new initiative that DGFT will be notifying. Have you notified? No, we'll be notifying in the next week itself. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you, sir. We will take a few questions related to the topics covered in the speech and today's events. I would request you to raise your hand and then, tell us your name and organization so that all our guests can also, start, please.
Sir, Nivedita from the Sunday Garden. So, two questions. Would India be looking at, more rupee arrangements with other countries, which could be a facilitator in this, if we are looking at the diaspora? And when you talk of green logistic, then would that entail also, tying up with EV players to give a thrust to that?
We have left that to the private sector. They will be leading the EV thrust. Our job here is right now promotion of exports.
Hi,
Louder, please.
जी business sir, can you please give some update on the e-commerce policy, sir? When can we expect the e-commerce policy? And secondly, on the Sarangi sir mentioned about e-commerce export zones, sir. So is this the same thing, the SAGE amendment for the Desh bill?
This is basically to facilitate faster clearance of goods. It's not exactly in the nature of SEZ amendment, but a more facilitative environment for clearing exports. So that will not be in the nature of an SEZ necessarily.
And sir, on e-commerce policies?
It's at final stages of discussion at the highest level in the government. We hope to come out very soon.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sure.
Hi, I'm Shreya from Business Standard. So if we can get an estimate of the e-commerce exports during this financial year, say from April to November.
Not
what
yet.
has been?
We don't have that figure right now. Maybe the department can give it to you later.
Yes, please.
We are in the process of integrating the postal department's data on e-commerce with iceGate. Right now, that is not separately accounted as e-commerce exports.
Sir, good evening. This is Sanjay Agarwal from World News. So my question is about page 15, where they're mentioning about the onboarding of e-commerce platforms. So they mention the referral fee and they mention a closing fee. So I just not able to understand. Means if you're negotiating with eBay or Amazon, then why do we have to pay fees twice?
Okay.
Referral fee and closing fee.
That adds to the cost, the final cost the customer doesn't buy then.
What are these two fees? Why is it being charged twice?
We'll come back on this.
We'll come back on this.
Right. So another thing is,
Just we'll
Yes.
take some other questions first. Take it.
Kirtika from the Economic Times. So what is the payment flexibility that you said you'll discuss with the RBI for e-commerce exports, that 270 days?
E-commerce export happens through different modalities. While one could be where they are directly exporting to consumers, another modality could be where they are warehousing in a place outside, and that would get sold over a period of maybe 1 year. So a consignment which is leaving your territory but staying in a warehouse outside for a longer period would obviously require a longer time frame for bank realization certificate to be done. So in that context, for models in which warehousing is being done, we are talking to RBI for a more flexible time frame for bank realization or foreign exchange realization.
By the way, this referral fee or closing fees are not charged by government. That's the e-commerce portals fees. So we are not micromanaging what the e-commerce portals charge. That is left to the arrangement between the e-commerce portals and the sellers on that. So this is, we are only, as you will see, some of the costs involved in the said process is presented as follows. This is only the various fees incurred on e-commerce platforms, not by government. So I just thought I'll clarify. ऐसा ना लगे कि सरकार कुछ fees charge करे. We have only compiled whatever is the market practices.
Rajiv ji.
दिवाकरन से। सर अभी जो रेड सी में डिसरप्शन है उससे हमारा
इस संबंध में रेड सी डिसरप्शन तो मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट है और अभी तक कोई इमीडिएट इम्पैक्ट ऐसा रिपोर्ट नहीं हुआ है, बट अभी करंट मंथ का डेटा जब आएगा उसमें ध्यान में आएगा whether there's been any significant effect. One industry which has got affected, I'm told, is rice exports. But more details will be known once we get this December figures, since it's a very recent happening.
और सर ई कॉमर्स एक्सपोर्ट जोन की जो बात आपने की थी,
जोन नहीं है, इन्होंने बताया ना, फैसिलिटेटिव प्रोसेस।
तो वो कब तक सर जोन कब तक बनेगा, ऐसा कुछ प्रपोजल
कर रहे हैं डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू के साथ, जैसे आगे बढ़ता है आपको बताते रहेंगे
जी।
थैंक यू। है
Hi, sir. Shwangi from Reuters. Sir, you mentioned more MOUs in the pipeline, like the one which was signed by Amazon, say Walmart, etc. So, what would be broadly the contours of that, and by when do you expect to see more such agreements?
No, those agreements will sign in next 15 days to 1 month. But broad contours of this agreement is to do capacity building at the district level, where our artisans, our weavers, our aspiring exporters, our MSMEs are given the details of what is given in this booklet. So they are given it in much larger detail and with hands-on demo as to how it is being done. How do they do cataloging? How they do take pictures? How do they put it in the e-commerce platform? So all those details, the brass tacks of e-commerce is conveyed to the potential exporters. And the idea is to generate more and more people who are able to leverage e-commerce.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, friends.
On behalf of DGFT, I would like to thank Honorable Minister and all our friends here for taking their time. Thank you.
इसको कुछ पूछना हो तो DGFT और रजनीश शाह है तो